You're listening to Almost Famous with Jim Francis Meza, only on LA Talk Radio.
Off to the races. Gobble, 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 guys. This is a Thanksgiving show. It's a very special one at that. As you know, each week I try to bring guests that are, worthy. I mean, not everybody's worthy. Everybody's a book, willing, being waiting to be read, be open. And I'm super excited to be a storyteller by also bringing people that have great stories. My next guest is a fantastic jiu-jitsu fighter. He's an actor, a comedian, or not comedian, model, Mr. Jacob the Bull Brown.
What's up? What's up? Thank you for having me here, Jim. I appreciate it.
What's up, Jacob?
What's up?
Dude, I know you were gonna come out and be here in studio, but LA traffic is one of those things that's pretty tricky, right? To get in and out of traffic here, especially during
traffic is not for me, I'll tell you that.
You know what? You're talking to someone that drove limos. I don't know if you knew this, but I have another podcast, and I was once upon a time I was a limo driver for 20 plus years. Juicy Divas Confessions of a Limo Driver.
Wow.
And I have a lot of stories, a lot of confessions and whatnot, but I'll tell you, the roads were different back in the day. Nowadays, it's a gridlock. Anywhere you go, you're stuck in traffic for hours on end, and it doesn't seem to end, right? There's always like some car accident and whatnot. But let's talk a little bit about you, my man, because you and I, we have friends in common. I know Sanjini Bhakta is a good friend of mine, and you happen to know her as well. And, she told me that she might have you put you in a film in one of her movies, because you were talking about it just the other day, and she brought you up, and I said he's going to be on my show. This gentleman is very young, and you've been telling us about jiu-jitsu. I mean, like, holy shit, you've been doing it for how long now? 16 years?
Yeah, 16 years. I started when I was 6, and it's been competing nonstop. It's been grinding it out.
Holy moly! And what's that like? Like, how did you get into this sport early on, like in diapers, 16 years?
So it all started with, of course, bullying was the reason why I started jiu-jitsu. I got bullied when I was 6 years old. It was like at a birthday party, and I just got cornered up by these 2 kids, and I didn't know what to do. So I went to my parents, and I complained, and I told them I want to find a way to defend myself because I don't know what I'm doing. And then they was like, "Oh, okay." So my mom took me to her sister, which is my aunt, and she's actually a police officer. So she took me to jiu-jitsu and to try out a class. And after that, I just absolutely fell in love. I love the way the sport is. I like grappling. It was very easy to get along with. And I kind of just had a passion for it over time. So I kind of just fell in love the minute I started it. It's just kind of like felt natural for me.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty impressive. I mean, like, it's so true. Like, now thank God for the anti-bullying laws that are in place and policies. But it used to be that we all got bullied. I got bullied. I'm 6'4.5". I got bullied when I was a kid. Believe it or not, I got bullied by a group of kids all the time for a few years, and the teachers would turn a blind eye on the whole situation. They'd hear about it. They'd hear you out and say, "Okay, we'll take care of it," but they never did. And yeah, it's a tough situation when you're in school. It's hard. You're not going to tell your parents about it because you're a guy.
Yeah.
You feel like, you know what, I can handle my own, but it's very important that you get into a sport like this to protect yourself. It's not to go out there and fight off a bunch of people, right? You're not going to go Bruce Lee on anybody.
No.
It's good to protect yourself. And, at the very least, people will know and say, hey, don't mess with that guy because he's won over 130 medals.
Yeah, lots of medals.
Tell us
Yeah.
about that. How did you know,
Yeah.
like, how did this start? Like, dude, 130 medals. Holy moly, bro. That's a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, like, so I did my first competition. I would say, man, it's been so long, but I know when the first competition I did, I got second place, which I was pretty proud of myself for my first ever
Yeah,
comp. And I was just like so confident. I went in there super happy. I was even happy even after I lost. I never cried. I was so like I was such a tough kid. Tough hearted. And then
yeah,
I kind of just fell in love with the tournament scene. After the first one, there was very positive. My coaches are very positive about it. To tell me to keep going. To come back to training and move on to the next competition. And my parents are very supportive as well. So that kind of just gave me the motivation to be like, hey, like this is really fun. I like where I'm at. I like, the sport I'm in. So just went back to training. Just I just kept on going because it was really fun for me at the time, and I couldn't see myself basically not doing it again. So I just competed
right.
the next time again, and I won.
And that adrenaline rush, right? I mean, it's got to be some adrenaline rush when you're active in the sport and you're doing this and you're grappling with people and you're taking them down, and that first win means a lot to you, and then you just chase it down. You're like, I can't hardly wait to get back on there, back on the mat, and
Yeah.
it's got to do something to your psyche, right? It just gets
Oh
you all.
yeah. Yeah, dude, I was like working out like every single day, like Monday through Friday. I mean, I still do it till today, but like as a kid, I was doing everything and everything I can. It was to boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, judo. Like I was doing all of it. It's just staying in the best condition possible to try to win most of my tournaments. So yeah, man, I was at it.
And you have a good support system. You have good parents that obviously take they take you. I don't know about now. I think you drive yourself, but it used
Yeah, I
to be
do.
taking you to a lot of these contests and a lot of these tournaments, right?
Yeah, yeah, there was.
And it's very important to have supportive parents. So, hats off to your parents. I mean,
Thank
that's really
you.
cool. And and tell us, but you also do modeling and acting, right?
Yes,
So
yes, I
what's that
got into
like for you?
modeling about like a year or 2 years ago, and that's when I just been staying consistent in that. Once I started with Layla, working for her,
Yeah, she's a
and
good.
now I've been new to acting, and so I did already one short film. I did two, but the second one's still being worked on, which is going to be dropping. In the future. But the first one is already done, so there's still that'll be announced soon when it'll come out. It's not an exact date yet. But yeah, it was fun working on the short film, so I'm definitely happy to work for more in the future. And sorry, and I'm working on a new film now. So yeah, a lot of things going on in the film world as well.
Wow. You're constantly doing a little of everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
and a shout out to Layla. She's awesome. We had her on the show. I interviewed her a couple months ago, actually, or a month ago. She's fantastic. She's been trying to corral me to go to her shows, and
yeah, her
I
shows are amazing.
she's been telling me, come on, you got to go, Jim. And, I haven't been able to. A lot of the times it's on Wednesday nights when I have my show here. So
Yeah,
I'm not able to make it out, but soon enough we'll be for sure rubbing elbows, and then perhaps I'll even see you there modeling some of the clothes. Tell us some of
oh yeah.
the clothing like you do, like streetwear, huh? You done? Is that like is that like part of the kind of clothes you like wearing, or is it
Yeah, so
the new style?
at the fashion show, they got all types of clothings, all different styles. I definitely like streetwear the most. It is like my style.
Right.
That's how just like, I come from the East Coast of New York, I love the fashion in New York, it's amazing. The fashion there is great as well, I love Cali, I love New York, both sides. But yeah, in fashion world, it's awesome. I love absolutely modeling, walking, the whole thing is amazing. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean it's an amazing show being there.
Yeah, it really is. Truly is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about the styles? Like, are the 90s coming back? Because I see like a lot of baggy clothes very 90s.
Yeah, actually, I see it. I think the '90s are here. I think it's definitely like it's back in rotation. I think people are just
Yeah,
making it more popular again. I'm all for it though. I like the style. Like, I like variety. So I like to throw in different types of styles. So definitely,
yeah.
I'm more into grunge. Like, I like the grunge style.
You like the grunge? Is that like
Yeah,
you're talking about like Alice in Chains and all those bands from the 90s?
yeah,
Kind
like the '90s
Yeah,
bands.
I
Yeah,
like that, man. I grew up. I was in school in high school in the '90s, and Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Alice in
yeah,
Chains.
listen to
Alice in Chains was like my favorite band back in the '90s.
very
Um,
nice. Yeah,
yeah,
good
that's so
taste in
cool.
music.
Yeah. So, have you ever picked up an instrument or not yet?
Look, I'll show
Come
you.
on, I knew you had an instrument there.
Got a
Ah,
guitar,
do
yeah.
you play it a little, or what? What's the deal?
Yeah, I played a little bit. I'm still learning a little bit. It's only been like a few, like maybe like 2 months, so I'm still trying to get better. But I'm working on it though.
Dude,
So
what are you not?
try
What
something.
do you not know how to do? Like it's crazy. Where do you find the time? You're just by you're
I,
grappling, you're freaking guitar playing, you're an actor, you're a model.
yeah,
If you
I like to keep myself busy. Like if I'm not doing one thing, I'm definitely doing something.
apparently, man, apparently.
Yeah.
So and did you go to college or like right at high school or
I graduated from high school. Yes. I didn't go to college because of my career. It takes up a
right?
lot of time, so I got to do a lot of traveling and it's just a lot of tournaments. So, but that's because
Yeah,
that's the main focus in the
that's your
career. But
career.
yeah,
That's basically
yeah,
career is cut out. Yeah, you don't need to do any more searching. Like a lot of people are
yeah,
searching for what they want to do. You already have your work cut out, and you know what you're gonna do. And now, what's your
yeah,
day consist of? What do you wake up? Do you juice or are you drinking like green juice or what do
yeah.
you eat? What's your morning
Yeah.
routine?
So like basically every day when I wake up, I'll have like a green shake. It could be like full of so I'll put carrots, beets, regular greens, kind of like the usual stuff. Throw in a banana, and that'll be like my morning coffee. Like that's how it is for me, and that's how I get energy for the day. And then I come back, have my breakfast, and then I'll go for a little workout session in the morning, like around 10 in the morning, and then kind of just rest off for a little bit, and then that's when I'll take some time, maybe play the guitar for a little bit, and then I'll go to my night class at training as well, and then usually that'll be the day.
Wow, how long do you train for in the daytime? Like when you work out, is that a 2 hour deal or?
Sorry. Each class is an hour, but I'm usually doing more than one class, so like it totals up to about like 2 to 3 hours if I'm doing like 3 classes a day.
Have some stamina. I wish I had half of what you have. That's insane. So
Yeah,
and obviously you're drug free. You drink only water, right?
yeah,
And
only water.
away from like sugar and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I try not to eat too much sugar. If I'm gonna have any sugar, it's more like natural sugars, like any
Right.
fruits, something like that. But not big into candy, chocolate, none of that. Gotta stay fit, to keep working out.
Okay. So speaking of food and whatnot, the holidays are upon us. So Thanksgiving, what's it like at the Brown family? Who cooks the turkey? Is it dad, mom? Or let me guess, you try cooking the turkey because you do everything else.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that. That's what. Yeah. So I actually help cook the turkey with my mom because I like cooking with her. She's actually one of the best cooks in the family. I would say. She
Yes.
has amazing Hispanic food. We're Puerto Rican and Cuban, so we absolutely love all types of Hispanic food. I
Boricua.
just love every style of food. So
Hmm.
yeah, and I love trying to learn every new meal that she cooks. I want to help that because I want to learn how to cook more like her because she has the best cooking.
What is the platter? What does the layout look like? What's the spread look like? You'd say, is there like arroz con habichuelas? Is that what you guys have?
Yeah,
Or Thanksgiving, or is it a kind of a hodgepodge of just the variety of American food and Puerto Rican food and Cuban food?
it's usually a variety. Yes, it's Puerto Rican Cuban mixed with the American food. But yeah, majority it's kind of like the usual you were saying. But yeah, we like to mix it up a lot.
Love it. And do you have salsa playing in the background at all, or
Oh
do
yeah,
you?
salsa. Of course, we got the salsa and chips. They're always on the table. It's like the first thing there.
Nice.
I got the tuna salads.
Wow, dude, I'm going over your house. You know what we're doing tomorrow night? I'm telling my wife we're gonna skip this place. We're going straight up to I can't say where. Whoever.
Yeah.
Um, Jacob, you are very motivated. So you're a
Thank you.
self-starter. You motivate yourself, or is there affirmations? What do you use at home, or like do you have a vision board? Tell us,
Yeah.
how do you keep yourself motivated?
Honestly, I don't have like a vision board that like I don't wake up to a board or nothing like that. But it mainly all has to do within my head. Like so, it's I keep myself motivated. Like I know what I have to do in my life, to be successful. So it's like every day I wake up, I already know what my routine's gonna be like. I know what I got to get done. So it's not something I'm just gonna forget about because I've been living this lifestyle and career for like 16 years. I'm not gonna just wake up and be like, oh man, I'm just gonna give up everything I'm doing.
I'm gonna fail it today. I'm not doing it. But are there
Yeah.
days when we all have those days where you don't want to do it? So what gets you going? Like on the day
Uh,
that you don't want to do it, like, do I have to? You don't think, you just do, right?
yeah, it's the thing. I just do. Like I try to ignore that factor. Like I had my times where I wake up and be like, oh man, I really feel like I shouldn't, like I can't go, but I go with it. I'm like, I'm gonna say I talk to myself, right? So I'll be
Yeah,
if I feel like I can't go, I'm just gonna wake up and go. I'm just gonna push through it. I like to push myself through the hard struggles.
yes,
So
sir.
I just really like kind of push through it like a man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it sounds insane and very regimented, but I love this,
Thank
and I
you.
love your vibe, and you have a lot of great energy that
Thank
can
you.
inspire others, which is why I'm glad I had you on the show tonight, because you're most definitely going to inspire a lot of people, including myself.
Thank
Uh,
you. I appreciate
you
it.
know, and it goes without saying, it's life is tough sometimes, and it could be a rough. There's mornings where do you consider yourself a morning person?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I got like it's funny because I used to be more of a night type of guy.
Yeah.
But ever since I've been taking my career a lot more serious, like years ago, I just got used to the morning, waking up in the mornings, working out, and that's why I started having more green drinks every morning because it keeps me going for the day. That's my energy, it's my coffee.
Yeah, I don't know. I love coffee. I can't give it up. But I tried tea, I tried green juice, and tried all the other stuff, and then somehow it wasn't doing it for me personally. But I'm glad that
Mhm.
whatever you're doing, stick by it because it's working out just fine for you. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yes, sir.
so what parts of the world have you traveled to? Because you travel a lot, extensively, don't you?
Mhm. Yeah, I've traveled to Portugal, to Spain, and in Barcelona. And that's the only ones I can remember right now. But those were a really fun trip.
And what are some of the memorable fights you've had over there that you could tell me? Oh man, dude, I had one of my favorite ones was in Barcelona, or I mean,
So I went to. It's funny because I went to Barcelona. But when I went there to make the weights, I actually was over by 1 ounce, so I got DQ'd.
yikes.
Yeah. That was crazy because it was in a division where usually I don't really do anymore because I was fighting in 129, I think it was, or
Yeah.
120. It was in the like 120 division, right? And one, yeah, I was like around green belt, I think. I know I was a juvenile, and so I was like, oh man, it was hard making the weight. So now I try to stick around 145, just like my walk around weight. So
Mhm.
that's kind of where I'm at.
That's cool. And what other parts have you traveled to?
Zurich. Zurich is really nice too.
Yeah. Did you like it?
hmm
What's your favorite place that you've traveled to?
I don't even remember. I just like, I was following my parents. I just go where they
Yeah.
go, like just enjoying the scenery. But if I would say overall, like, I liked Portugal the most. Spain was really nice. I want to go to England. I want to visit that place one day.
Yeah, England would be great, huh?
Oh
That'd be
yeah, most
fantastic.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
big on
Um,
traveling.
yeah. Um, you know, how do you mentally prepare for these fights, these tournaments? Like what's the thinking process, when you go into these things? I'm just curious.
Uh, So usually, I like to have like prep talks with my parents. They kind of just help me like stick it through. Kind of just like reaffirmation stuff like that. And obviously, I trust in my training as well. So I go to train, I work on my skills. I talk to my coach, and he helps me a lot with that. So when I go to the tournament, I'm like prepared, as far as when it comes to like grappling. But when it comes like, when I'm mentally thinking about it, I really try not to stress about it too much. Like I've already became like confident in, going to tournaments and mentally being prepared about, pretty much everything that's gonna happen. So mentally I'm strong, so I'm already good there. But like physically, I'm always getting ready for the next fight.
That's beautiful. Do you like meditate? Do any kind of meditation or anything or prayer before you
I
go into
pray,
a fight?
yes, yes, I do
Praise
pray
God.
before I fight. Yeah.
And what are some of the challenges you think you've faced over the years?
Um, as far as like fights and
Yeah, fights.
tournaments,
Yeah.
I faced like man, it's a good one. I mean, I had some rough opponents. I had some really tough fights over the years. I would love to, have some rematches with some of the people I used to fight back in the day because those are really good opponents. I think like they were really nice, fair fights. I would love to, have another match with them at black belt because that's kind of where like everybody meets each other again. It's usually a black belt, and if we're in the same weight division, I would love another rematch. I don't want to say any names, but yeah, I'm getting my black belt soon. But yeah, yeah, I respect all fighters.
Wow. And do you like other sports? Like do you talked about boxing? Did you watch do you like Canelo at all, or do you like
uh,
this last fight? What you think about the Tyson versus Jake Paul?
Jake Paul, yeah, saw the fight. I don't know. I kind of expected Jake Paul to win.
Yeah.
I was like voting for Mike Tyson. I was like, oh man, I hope Tyson wins, but I kind of felt like Jake Paul was gonna win. I didn't know how he was gonna win, but I'm glad he didn't knock Mike Tyson out because that's what I didn't want to happen.
That would have, honest to God, I think he went pretty, like, honestly, he didn't go all out. He didn't give it his all. I thought like
Yeah,
he went easy on Tyson. There was so many times where, yeah, he could have really bowed out in a nasty way. Tyson, anyway.
yeah. I saw some like open opportunities with Tyson had that
Yeah,
punch. He could have
missed
got that knock
opportunities,
cold.
but I think it was somehow. I wouldn't consider it. I wouldn't go necessarily as to say as far as saying that it was rigged, but it definitely looked like there was a lot of dancing going on, and it was more
Yeah.
like an exhibition fight, if anything, right?
Yeah, I can see that. Kind of like felt like there's too many opportunities to feel like it was a lot of like time wasting and
You're
stuff.
like, oh, they should have hit him right there. Oh, he could have knocked him
Yeah,
down, laid him
yeah.
out.
Like me and my family was watching and we was all like screaming at the top of my lungs, like, "Oh, you got him right there!" It's like,
But the
uh,
amount of chaos, dude, or surrounding this, like money, people betting, online betting, and this whole, I mean, it just makes so much money.
oh
It's
yeah,
insane, these fights. So,
yeah.
who do you think? Who do you want Jake to fight next?
Oh man, that's a good one. I mean that that depends because Jake is he's been fighting a lot of the retired boxers. So I mean, who else is retired out of the game that who he would call
Cesar
out?
Chavez. You should fight Cesar Chavez in the old
Uh,
days. I
that'll
don't
be
know.
interesting. That'll be
I mean,
interesting. I guess we'll just have to see.
or he should fight someone that's more relevant, someone that's younger, right? That's more kind of at his level, I would say, age wise. And, I don't know. I mean, what do I know? I
Yeah,
think a lot of this
yeah,
stuff is just mainly, like I said, it's a money grab. It's easy to
yeah.
make
It's
money,
like it's entertainment, for the people. I see it. It's a business, right?
business, bro. It's a big business. Yes, it is indeed. And speaking of business, do you think do you like MMA at all? Are you
Yeah,
into MMA?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into MMA. I haven't watched any UFC fights recently, or like I haven't been too on top of it. Like I haven't been watching TV really in general, so I don't really keep up with a lot of the fights. But
I wouldn't
like,
think you even own the TV, dude. You're so busy playing guitar. Who's your favorite guitarist?
sorry, can you say that again?
Who's your favorite guitarist? Who do you like?
Man,
Guitarist.
that's a good one. I'll say Slash.
You like Slash, Guns
Yeah,
N' Roses?
yeah. Guns N' Roses is good.
And was it? Go ahead.
I would say like as far as like maybe bands as well. Like I like a lot of grunge bands, like Deftones. It's a classic.
Yeah,
Uh,
They just played.
Radiohead.
Didn't they recently played? They just
Uh,
recently played.
Deftones.
Mhm.
I don't know.
There's a resurgence of all that, dude. There's Corn. They're all playing, man, these days. These days, there's so many.
I haven't
You
kept up. I just listen to the music.
they're playing like I don't. I think they're doing their own shows these days with like festivals of sorts. You know how they do
Oh
festivals.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. See what you're
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
want to go to one. That would be dope.
what it? The Corn is cool. They're like a local. Well, not local, but they're up in what Fresno or out that way.
Yeah,
Um,
I do listen to
yeah,
Corn as well.
yeah. Corn's good,
All
man.
those types of music. Yeah,
Yeah. Would you
it's
like rap?
awesome.
Do you like
Uh,
Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick is cool. Yeah, I do. Like I have some R&B on my playlist. You know, I like R&B. I like grunge, metal. You know, I'm pretty mixed all around when it comes to music.
Let's
Because
say you.
all of my older brothers put me on. Like when I was young, I'm the youngest of my family, so I kind of grew up with some of that music.
Sure. I grew up with
Yeah,
so many types of music, dude. So when do you like salsa music, like Puerto Rico, like Puerto Rican music, salsa?
yeah.
You
My
like,
mom plays it all the time in the house. She's big on it. You know, so I'm
dude,
always hearing it, and I
I
like it. I used to take like a dance class for salsa.
I love it. Like Mark Anthony in the olden days, he had good salsa,
Yeah, yeah.
good salsa music. I really enjoy it.
You gotta know how to dance a salsa when a girl asks you to do a dance.
Yeah, you're not gonna stomp on toes, right? You're like, sure, you have two left feet. Like,
Exactly.
dang. Do you
Gotta be
dance?
ready.
Do you dance? Like, I mean, have you
Uh,
learned to dance salsa?
I don't have like I'm not like a professional dancer or nothing, but I can like move. You know, I got movements. I can dance a little bit.
You,
But I used to take like a few dance classes here and there.
you're a jiu-jitsu fighter. You can do anything, bro. You can do like a backflip.
Well, I did do gymnastics for a little bit, so yeah, I
Right?
can do like
You see, I
backflips.
knew it. I freaking knew
Yeah,
it. That's so rad, man. And
thank you.
what other sports? You like football? You like basketball? What other things you do? You
So
you
as
play
far as
basketball?
sports goes, I did like you know other. They were mainly like hobbies to me.
Mhm.
Um, I was never really good at like really basketball or at football. Those were mainly like school activities when I was in school.
Yeah.
But as far I mean, I like skateboarding, but that's more of a hobby thing too. So for sports wise, it would only be like combat. Like I find myself combat being you know what I'm best at when it comes to sports.
I skated too, man. I was a skater for years. I owned a Santa Cruz board in the
Oh, that's
90s.
awesome.
I was all into
Nice.
skating. Oh my god, I live for that shit, dude. I mean,
Skateboarding's gnarly.
oh my god, dude. Half pipes, Tony Hawk, Mike McGill, Lance Mountain. Oh, dude, the Stevie Caballero. So many skaters. Vision Gator. If you ever get a chance, watch. If you like skateboarding, watch the
Okay.
fall of Gator, dude. It's a crazy documentary, but it's cool. I don't know that. I mean, I know that nowadays young people watch documentaries because I
Mhm.
only spend my life watching documentaries, honestly, and I watch a lot of sci-fi
Uh,
stuff too. But documentaries is
yeah.
great. Go ahead.
I would watch a lot of documentaries with my father when I was like in my younger days. Like I was like a
Yeah,
kid, and he would have me watch documentaries with him. It's pretty fun. It was more like documentaries about the animals and you know how the alligators and stuff, kind of how, and they explain what the animals and how wild the wildlife is.
but it's great because it teaches you so much about animals, and their kingdom.
Oh yeah,
It's fantastic. There's a lot to learn there, and it's good. Sounds like you're well rounded, and you must have been
yes,
a good
sir.
student, right? A good student in school because that's part of as to why you're able to pursue jujitsu full time.
Yeah, of course. In school, I was like
Straight
one
A.
of the most loved students. Yeah, all the teachers loved me.
Weird.
I had a dope mohawk. Everybody thought it
Yeah,
was super cool.
you
Yeah,
rock
purple
a
mohawk.
mohawk, dude. That's
Yeah,
so cool.
yeah, back in like middle school, I would rock a purple mohawk, and everybody thought I was like the coolest kid in the school.
That's so funny. Did you do that just to share, like, just to look to be stand out and stuff, or was you into punk also? Do you like punk
uh,
rock?
no, I actually wasn't listening to any type of rock back at that age. It was more like I had it to. It was more like for jujitsu, like a combat intimidation factor. So
Sure.
that was like I had a mohawk until like how old was I? Maybe like 12 years old. That's when I stopped wearing the mohawk. That at 13, I had new hairstyle.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Your hair looks really, really cool. You remind me
Thank
of
you.
a young Mario Lopez. who's also a wrestler,
Thank you.
a wrestler growing up.
Oh, very nice.
Mario Lopez was an actor. Yeah, he's still an actor, but I'm saying like he acted in the show Saved by the Bell, and he played a character Slater, and he was a wrestler in the show as well. But he did wrestle most of his life, and I
That's
think he fights.
badass.
If I'm not mistaken, he does jujitsu, or I
Yeah,
think
yeah, he does jits. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty crazy, dude. And his kids are
Sick.
doing it as well, like somewhere out here in Glendale, somewhere. They're really in Burbank,
I think
really
they're in Gracie, I believe, right? Something like
right,
that. Yeah,
exactly.
that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, that's fantastic, dude. And who are some of your like who are the people you grew up looking up to besides your parents, your dad, of course, our pops are always the people we look up to. Who are
So
sports world?
it's, I get this question asked frequently. It's funny because if I kind of put it as in when it comes to looking up to anyone, I kind of like to look up to myself, if that makes sense. Because like I'm pretty inspired by myself about everything that I did, you know.
Self-assurance, you're
uh,
pretty sure of yourself, yeah.
Yeah, like I respect other people's work. Like, like I'm like if I see another person that also made like great success movements, and, whatever they did in their life to become successful, I respect them with everything. But I like to focus on myself and all the work that I did. I like to look back and reflect and be like, wow, I did all this, and I can only achieve even more than what I did. So, just work even
Wow.
harder every day.
I'm floored. I am mesmerized. Show us some of your
Thank you.
medals, man. Why don't you show us some of your medals?
Yeah, I got them all right here. So
Show us some
these
of them.
are
100 and something.
got
Dude,
like
show
the
them
world
off.
medals here. I'm gonna flex
Beautiful.
them like dollar bills.
Yeah. Look at that.
these,
Wow,
these,
Jacob.
these are yeah. I mean, let me put the camera in different angle. I'll show you.
Please do. Please show off
Gotta
your
put
stuff,
the
man.
camera.
Hard
Come
for
on.
every single one of them.
Camera,
Oh,
gold, 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 gold. This is the PC, so don't mind. But this is all golds.
unbelievable, dude. That is so rad. Yeah, you should
Yeah.
be looking up to yourself. I'm looking up to you. Shoot, that's like, wow. That's quite
Thank you. I
you
appreciate that.
of a trove of them, and that's all due to hard work, and hard work does pay off, and you're living proof of that. That you work hard at it, and then
Thank you.
go at it, and you've obviously it's paid dividends for you.
I
So when is your
appreciate that.
next when is your next fight, or how do we are you gonna have one out here in LA sometime, or
No, yeah, I actually have my next fight. I have it on my phone right here. I'll tell you right now. My next fight's
cool
on December 7th. It's gonna be the finals, Jiu-Jitsu World League in San Diego.
an SD San Diego? I love
Yes,
San.
sir. It's the finals.
Wow, dude, are you pumped?
Oh yeah, of course. I feel confident. I'm always confident in my wins. So I'm training hard for that right now. So yeah, very excited.
Jesus Christ. You know, I started. I have a confession to make. All right, full disclosure.
Okay.
I tried to do. I tried to do judo, and after I got my ass handed to me, like the first few times, the guy
Yeah.
goes, "Hey, you're lucky. You get to practice with me. And this is like the sensei or whatever." And then he drops me really hard on the floor, right? And I was like 16 or 17. And oh my God, I couldn't recover that quickly. And I
Oh
said, I don't know if I can come back to this. After that, I had a bad back. I was going to school. Like, what happened? You're not going to admit to that. I
yeah.
it's not bad, but clearly that wasn't my career.
Yeah. I hope you healed that like way faster.
Yeah, no, you know what I learned? I came back though. That's the thing. I'm like the comeback
That's
kid. I said
good.
I'm gonna go back and keep going at it until I learn. So yeah, I got to the brown belt. I mean, it wasn't like
Nice. You're brown?
a lot, huh?
That's awesome. You said you're brown belt?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
but
Congrats.
it was like looking back in retrospect, I think I could have done a lot better. But like I did a lot of different things in terms of like guitar playing, acting. I went to so many acting classes growing up, and tried to get into theater. Did a little theater here and there, community theater, and
Very
that
nice.
was kind of my life. And then got into educating kids. But who's like, do you have a memorable teacher you remember from school that just stood out, that gave you some great advice?
Yeah, I have a very memorable jiu-jitsu coach that I had back in the East Coast. It's with the team, Sensei Paul. Shout out to Sensei Paul. He's very memorable in my jiu-jitsu career, and so many other coaches. I have so many memories when it comes to jiu-jitsu. That gym is also called Carnicella BJJ. Shout out to them. Great academy. And yeah, that is probably my most memorable. And Team Fiona as well. Shout out Fiona. So yeah, got some people.
Wow, look at you. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, your parents must be super proud of you. And then New York, how long have you lived out here in Cali?
I think it's been about 11 years.
11 years here. Would you say
Yeah.
do you miss the East Coast at all?
I I love
You
the
don't miss
East
it
Coast,
at
but
all?
I would rather stay in Cali. Yeah.
Thank you. I know my buddy's supposed to be watching this. I knew he'd say hell no. He doesn't want to go out so cold. Some
Yeah,
frostbite.
it's very freezing over there. I'm not used to the snow anymore.
Dude, it's insane. New York is insane. I love in New York. All New Yorkers out there, I love you guys.
Yeah.
Good luck. Just kidding. We love the sun out here. I mean, we've been out
Yeah,
here.
it's
I
too
was
good
born
the weather.
in LA, but I'll tell you, like I've been to places where it snows. I stick my nose out the freaking window. There's no freaking.
Yeah.
And but I love New York. There's so many cool places in New York that I love visiting.
Oh
When I was
yeah.
young, and the Statue of Liberty, yeah, it was cool. But I remember um, the subways. I actually like the subway system in New York,
Yeah,
because
subways of course.
yeah, everybody rides the subway. So one year, this is a true story. We went to a Yankee game in New York, and we were in the subway, and somebody started talking, and we began to talk, and there's like, oh, you guys are not from New York, and we're, oh no, we're from LA. Oh yeah, because one of my buddies is also wearing like a Laker, I don't know what, a Laker jersey or whatever it was that he was wearing, a hat or something. So
Hmm.
immediately they found us out. I'm like, you idiot, we're not from New York. But but on the subway, it's like every class comes together so beautifully in the system, in the
Oh yeah, I agree for sure.
everybody,
I
every
love the trains because I like the people on there. I like the cool dancers. You wake up in the morning and get the train dancers. They're
yeah, you got
such
people
fun
like,
people.
dude, they got skills, man, and then
They do. You gotta respect them.
bro, like, dude, street artists don't get enough credit for sure. We got some cool ones here. We used to have the naked cowboy in the olden days, some dude walking around like in a thong, whatever it was. Now he's in New York. He's in New York. It's a true
Wow.
story. He's like out in New York, and they did a whole documentary about different people in Hollywood, like the Superman. I remember the Superman guy. He passed away. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
is a guy that was he looked just a lot like I think he looked a lot more like Christopher Reeve, if I'm not mistaken, the older from the '80s, that passed on himself. Um, but he passed on, and a lot of the characters on Hollywood Boulevard, dude, it's a trip, I
Oh
mean, up
yeah.
and down, right? But
Yeah, New York. I would always visit. Just to see it again once in a while. It's
yeah.
always memorable. Heck yeah.
Do you guys ever go back? Like I like to have a white Christmas, and I haven't had one ever. Like other than through TV, vicariously watching somebody else in the movie and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, sometimes, yeah, we go back to New York, here and there, just to
yeah.
give it a visit again. We got some family over there we like to see. So, yeah, it's always nice to see it again.
That's so cool. Have you ever traveled to Puerto Rico or Cuba?
Puerto Rico, yes. Puerto
Boricua.
Rico was a good experience. I
Yeah.
like it over there. It's very
The rich,
nice.
Puerto Rico means rich port. It's rich
No,
port.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
And the food it's phenomenal, and the
Oh,
music, the
food is
vibe.
fantastic.
Everybody's super cool out there. I have a lot of friends that are from Puerto Rico, so
Yeah, if there was one thing I had to bring back from Puerto Rico, it'd be the food. I would love more food from Puerto Rico.
arroz con habichuelas. That's all I remember, dude. Eating a lot of that, and then I remember the beans, uh, and it's got a lot of like garlic, a lot of garlic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then they run them, they strain them, and they almost, I think they blend them. It's fantastic, dude.
Ooh,
It's
eating
pureed.
good over there. Yeah.
It's yummy. So anyway, man, we're down to the wire, dude. I hate to say this, but we don't know where time went. I had such a phenomenal time talking to you. So the next couple of minutes, I just want to close this out. And in closing, is there anything else you want to add? Once again, when is that tournament? And how do we can we just buy tickets for this, or how does that work?
Honestly, you just gotta show up. Like people who go the tournament, all you gotta do is show up, and then you can pay there. And the tournament's gonna be the date is December 7th, and it's gonna be in San Diego.
Yeah,
and it's also $20 to get in. Just FYI for people who do want to go. And so stay tuned for that. So I'm gonna go there and win. Gonna do my thing, train hard as much as I can to go get that gold medal.
Yes.
And I also want to thank you for having me here, to talk. And I really appreciate you for having me be here.
Dude,
so
it's been nothing but an honor to have you on. And the other thing is, we'll be hanging out soon because I'm gonna head over to Layla's show, her fashion show.
So all right, that's awesome. All right, I look forward to that.
And I look forward to meeting your dad too, man. He seems really cool. Shout out to your pops and your mom. Such a talented, wonderful son all the way around. They ought to be very, very proud of you. And man, hats off to everything you're doing. Keep at it, 150%. Never stop, never look back. Keep moving forward. Keep gaining those, making those rounds, and you're going places, man. And you're already doing it. And I'm very, very happy to see you go up, man. There's only way to go, and that's up.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it.
Wait, what are your social media handles for those for all the viewership that's watching?
So everybody who's watching, you can follow me on my social media. My Instagram is Jacob the Bull Brown, and that's really the only one you should follow. Instagram, Jacob the Bull Brown. So yeah, that's it.
Hey, follow this kid, man. This guy is going places, and I'm so happy to have him on Almost Famous with Jim Francis Meza. It's been such an honor. Unfortunately, we got to go until next time.
Later, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye.
You're listening to Almost Famous with Jim Francis Meza, only on LA Talk Radio.